You think you know ancient Rome? Most people believe Rome sprang from nothing, a unique powerhouse of innovation. But what if I told you the true foundations of Roman culture, religion, and even its very identity were actually laid by a mysterious and powerful civilization that came before it? Understanding this truth isn't just academic. It completely reframes how you see one of history's greatest empires, and it's a vital perspective too often overlooked in 2025. Today, we're uncovering the profound Etruscan influence on Rome, a connection that will change everything you thought you knew. The biggest mistake most people make is seeing Rome as a completely self-made entity. They picture legions, forums, and temples as purely Roman inventions, but ignore the Etruscan roots and you miss the entire story. You end up with a shallow understanding, like trying to comprehend a building by only looking at its roof. Without the Etruscans, early Rome wouldn't have built its cities, structured its government, or even understood its gods in the way it did. The truth is, Rome was not born in a vacuum. It emerged from the shadow of a sophisticated noble, borrowing, adapting, and ultimately transforming their legacy. Let's start with the basics. Many symbols of Roman power, symbols we still recognize today, came directly from the Etruscans. Take the fasces, that bundle of rods with an axe, representing magisterial authority. That was an Etruscan symbol, adopted by Rome. The very idea of the triumphal procession, where a victorious general paraded through the city, has clear Etruscan antecedents, rooted in their religious and military rituals. Even the iconic toga praetexta, worn by Roman magistrates and priests, and the curule chair, a seat of power, were Etruscan imports. This wasn't just superficial borrowing. These were fundamental elements of Roman civic and state identity. But the influence went deeper than mere symbols. Their impact on Roman religion was arguably the most profound. You see, the Romans didn't just invent their gods and omens. They inherited a complex system of divination directly from the Etruscans. We're talking about augury, the practice of interpreting the flight of birds or natural phenomena like lightning to discern divine will. This wasn't a casual superstition for the Romans. It was a critical part of state decision-making. No major undertaking, whether a battle or a legislative assembly, could begin without consulting the augurs. Then there's haruspicy, the gruesome but essential Etruscan practice of examining animal entrails to read omens. This detailed, almost scientific method of divination was central to Etruscan religion and became a core component of Roman religious practice. The Roman pantheon itself, while evolving, shows clear Etruscan parallels. Their supreme god Tina corresponds directly with Rome's Jupiter. Uni mirrors Juno. Minerva became Minerva. These weren't simply shared Indo-European deities. They were deities understood and worshipped through an Etruscan lens in early Rome. This level of integration shows you how deeply the Etruscans shaped Roman spiritual life, long before Christianity. And it doesn't stop there. Think about Roman urban planning and engineering. The Etruscans were master builders and city planners. They introduced sophisticated drainage systems, including the foundational principles behind Rome's famous Cloaca Maxima, which drained the Forum. Their knowledge of arcuate construction, the arch, allowed the Romans to build massive, enduring structures. Many early Roman temples followed Etruscan architectural designs, particularly those dedicated to the Capitoline triad of Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Even the brutal spectacle of gladiatorial games has roots in Etruscan funeral rites, where armed combatants fought to honor the dead. This isn't just ancient history, it's a fundamental truth that still resonates. When you look at Rome's initial rise, it wasn't some isolated, spontaneous combustion of genius. It was a crucible of cultures, with Etruscan ingenuity providing much of the intellectual and practical fuel. Consider the fact that some of Rome's early kings, like Tarquinius Priscus and Servius Tullius, were either Etruscan themselves or heavily influenced by Etruscan culture. This isn't theory. It's documented in Roman tradition and confirmed by archaeological findings in places like Veii and Rome itself. We see Etruscan pottery, artifacts, and building techniques directly within early Roman layers. Historians now accept this connection as undeniable, and new discoveries continued to underline its significance, reshaping our understanding in real time. So don't let a simplified narrative obscure the actual genius of Rome. Understanding the Etruscan influence isn't about diminishing Rome's achievements. It's about appreciating its incredible capacity for adaptation and synthesis. Rome's strength was often its ability to take the best ideas from its neighbors, perfect them, and make them uniquely its own. Grasping this connection now will transform your entire perspective on ancient history and the very concept of cultural evolution. Don't wait until these vital connections are overshadowed. Secure your understanding today. If you want to dive even deeper into how the Romans strategically adapted these Etruscan practices and forged their own unique identity, eventually creating the vast empire we know today, then you absolutely must watch our next video. We break down the critical period of transition from kingdom to republic, revealing the Roman genius for cultural assimilation. Click right here to watch it now.